Just across I-25 from downtown Denver, the usual 76,000 fans have made their way to Phillips Power Field at Mile High, the home of the Broncos. Out is Eddie Pinheiro to get this one started. And off we go from Denver. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Right to the air from the 30 on the first play. Oh, and they're going to get him again. 2 plays, 2 sacks by the defense.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss on top of it. Understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, but now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
Brought down at the 21, a gain of 1. This opening drive not going as scripted. It is 3rd and long. He'll take a shot with Mims. And the Panthers are going to take over just shy of midfield.
So anytime a team suffers an early setback like that interception, human instinct says, Mike, we need to get away from our game plan. We need to adjust. I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of game left, a lot of chances to avenge that play and still connect downfield on some of these passes. All proven, though, Mike, they've got to identify what went wrong. Let's correct it so we're able to move forward.
That's to the rookie from South Carolina, Xavier Legette. Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a first down.
This is a tale as old as time, Mike. It seems that anytime a team forces a takeaway, fumble, or interception, the ensuing drive starts with a shot, a deep play in the air to try to seize on some of that momentum. We just saw a great example of it here.
Tremble comes in motion. Run now for the rookie out of Georgia. Oh, and the rookie puts it on the deck. It's a fumble.
And as you can see with that fumble, Mike, it really just goes back to the fundamentals of how they're taught to carry the ball. And they talk about the points of pressure. And the biggest thing really, Mike, is you want the front tip of the ball, the part where your fingers cover, to always be higher than the back tip of the ball. So often you see that front tip go down, and it makes it so much easier for that defender to kind of rake it out. So you want pressure against the outside of the ball, both tips, the inside of the ball, and then keep that front point up.
12 yards on the game. That's good for a quick first down. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. That's to the running back, Breece Hall. And he can't get away. They rally to the football on defense and bring him down for no gain.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback, understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver, who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
Second down, Nix. Going left side down the field, and it's complete. And he will go all the way. Touchdown, Denver. That is his 16th touchdown of the year. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos will take a 7-0 lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. A safe kick taken at the 5. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Chuba Hubbard. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here. He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
3rd and long. From the gun, it's Young. That's going to be intercepted. And he is going to score. A pick 6 for the touchdown. The pick 6 for the score. Greg, that is the one thing this offense did not want to see, and it really is demoralizing to see that happen in that spot.
Absolutely, Mike, and that's one of those cases where you just would like to see the quarterback say, all right, I'm going to live to play another day. Don't force that throw. Don't try to make a play that's not there, because not only do you turn the ball over, you give them an easy 6.
And on the other side, the defense, what a moment, uplifting for them. Big momentum building.
Yeah, and that's the way games are shaped in this league, Mike. I mean, you find yourself able to capitalize on a mistake by an offense. You get yourself an easy touchdown. All of a sudden, your sideline finds themselves completely rejuvenated.
From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Get this drive started. On the ground, it's Hubbard. Nice move. Slips a tackle. Gets forward for a gain of 2. Second down and 8. Now Young. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, Young. Oh, a dangerous throw there is intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Mike, that's a great play for any defensive back, let alone an undrafted rookie. I mean, to think that every single team passed on him in this past year's draft multiple times is pretty hard to believe. And again, this is the growth. This is the development that they saw when he signed there as an undrafted free agent. And he has taken advantage of every opportunity he's been given, and now he's creating turnovers for this unit.
Now, a 2nd down throw for Nix. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is why it's so critical that the quarterback and his intended target are on the same page. They got to speak the same language. When there's miscommunication, it leads to errant throws, and when errant throws lead to big missed opportunities.
From the shotgun, here's Nix. To the goal line and in. Marvin Mims. Touchdown, Broncos. Here's Lutz now for the extra point. His kick is good. The Broncos looking terrific here out of the gate. Already up 21-0. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. They're trying to pin him deep. They'll take this from the 3. He'll get this past the 20. Shy of the 25-yard line. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Slot receiver headed right. They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Here's Young. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. He didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Now Young, and that is incomplete.
I know it fell for an incompletion, but pretty impressive. He was able to push that ball really far downfield as he was being hit. Really says a lot about the arm strength that this quarterback has.
They'll go. Young. Now for the 3rd time in the 1st quarter, he's been intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Well, Mike, once again, this drive, it ends the same way their last one did, walking off the field, following an interception. Now, you're hoping this is more momentary struggle than it is a trend, but as hard as it is to do, they need to get calmed down. They need to reset because their offense cannot operate at a high level if they don't have confidence in this passing game.
A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down. Now they'll set up to throw. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. And he's in. Marvin Mims. Touchdown, Denver. So that's his 2nd touchdown of this one. And he's got a half dozen for the year. Lutz for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Broncos move out to a commanding 28-0 first half lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he decides not to bring it out. So they'll take over at the 30-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. This drive begins with a run by Hubbard. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Another run here with Hubbard. And he's going to be stopped in his tracks. He'll lose a couple of yards on that one.
Well, has been the case this entire first half. It's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
And this ball incomplete on third down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on first and second down, Mike. Living in these third and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
Early big play here. They're going to go for it on fourth down. They will indeed go as they look to throw. That's taken in. And he's going to have a Panthers first down. They wind up with a gain of 11 on fourth down. A gain of 11 there as the decision to go for it pays off. So some early... unbalanced look here to the right side on first and 10. To throw is Young. And that one's incomplete, but a late flag comes in. Looked like he might have gotten there early. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for first and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Young. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
This pains me to say, Mike, because I love the idea of feeding the tight end, but you can only go his way so many times if it's not going to result in positive outcomes. So wouldn't be surprised to see him try to get his backs, his wide receivers, get some other guys involved, and then later in the game, go back to his big tight end.
A gain of 17 yards. It's a Carolina first down.
Up until that run, this first half, it's kind of been tough sledding here for this run game. They'd love to see him get going. That last big pickup's going to go a long way.
Woo! Back-to-back, some nice runs. This one good for 11 and another first down.
Starting to see a back right now, Mike, that's finding his way with this defense. Back-to-back big gains. Have to see, do they just continue to ride the hot hand, or do they start putting the ball in the air?
On first and 10, here's Young. Quick hitting slant there. And the Panthers are going to have a first and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's been a rough first half, but now as we approach halftime, Mike, you got to start getting some wins. And it could be something small like we just saw here. Some positive.
And that big offensive line. Clearing space. He's in. Touchdown, Carolina.
Come on, defense. I'm going to go get a soda. Kid's team plays better than this defense.
On now, Eddie Pinheiro for the extra point. It's up and through. The Panthers are able to edge a bit closer.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10. Now Nick's going to look to throw. Crushed. It's incomplete. He did get the pass off, but he got drilled before he let it go. They'll try again here. Second and 10. Throwing is Nix. Going down the center of the field, open man, and it's taken in. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. They send him right out of the slot. Knicks now on 1st and 10. A throw left side, going to be intercepted. Into space. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the goal line. Nearly a pick six, but he does set up the offense with 1st and goal. Now, this looks like a design run. And he's going to go backwards on that one. They take him down back at the 6-yard line. On 2nd down, Young. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. That's the linebacker, Zach Cunningham. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 41-yard line.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. A 1st down throw for Knicks. He's going to take a shot down the field. That is hard. And he's going to be brought down inside the 15.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
He pulls it in around the 5.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. A give. Here's Hall. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard, but that's it.
And with that run, Mike, even though it brings up 3rd down, it still keeps this offense in what they call a 50-50 downs. It means with the down and distance provided, you can call a run or a pass, and both are equal threats. And that's what makes it so hard for these defenses to defend those situations.
Now a 3rd and 2. And he'll take it on in. Touchdown, Broncos. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. For quarterbacks, there are so many stats we use to measure a good season. This is one of them. 30 touchdowns. That was number 30 on the year. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos add on one more as they extend their 2nd quarter lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. Here comes a return from the 3. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Tremble comes in motion. Now ETN. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. I think he's going to lose a yard.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
Throwing on 2nd down, Young. Oh, for the 5th time, he is intercepted. Picked off by Damari Mathis.
At this point, Mike, it's just hard to trust him to make good decisions with the ball, which is really a shame. And we both had really high hopes for this quarterback coming into the game. He was able to shake off the first 2 picks, but then there's a 3rd, then there's a 4th. And now after this 5th, You have to strongly consider whether you want to sit this guy for the remainder of this game.
On first down, here's Nix to throw. And for the third time in this first half, he's been intercepted. He works free, right side. Still going. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Panthers. Nothing the defense loves more, Greg, than the opportunity to not only stop a team, but turn them back around the other way. A touchdown on the pick six.
Yeah, the defense just loves getting their hands on the ball when they can, Mike, but it is extra special when they're able to capitalize and take it all the way back for 6.
These are the ones that rip your heart out on the offensive side. So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. Play action now. It's Nix. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Marvin Mims there. And it'll bring up second down. Working out of the gun. It's Nix. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete, and he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down.
It's pretty remarkable at this stage, Mike, that they're even winning this game. I mean, anytime a quarterback is completing less than 50% of his throws, you just don't see that very often, and it just seems like time and time again, this quarterback and his intended target.
And for the fourth time today, he has been intercepted. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position, a huge chance to cut into the deficit. Young to throw on 1st and 10. Inside the 10, it is caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Now, Pinheiro to add on the extra point. He's got it. And the Panthers back within a couple of scores. It's 35-21. So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run, and it's Hall. Running room hard to come by as he'll get ahead for a yard. Trayvon Merrick up to make the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 9. Here's Nix to throw. The pressure there got to him. He's hit as he threw it, and that pass falls incomplete. 3rd down and 9. To throw is Nix. He'll find Hall out of the backfield. Down the sideline. And he's out of bounds inside the 30. Nix now to throw it here on 1st down. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up Incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down. Mims sent in motion here. Second down. Nix. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be third down. From the shotgun, here's Nix. And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack. And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
And he will get back to only about his 20-yard line. That's where the drive will start. On first down is Young. Throwing over the middle. This one is complete. Into space at the 45. And out of bounds he goes, just shy of midfield. Young to throw on first down. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8. Eddie Pinheiro going to come on to try a field goal now. Now the Broncos going to use the first of their timeouts. The Panthers going to turn things over to the field goal unit. They'll put this one down at midfield. Here comes a 60-yard attempt. This one not going to get there. From distance, it is no good. And this will remain a 3-score game. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Oh, and he's going to go down. He could not get rid of it. And that's going to bring an end to this first half.
Why are you guys giving up? I do that.
That just happened. Are you serious? Come on.
What in the world was that?
Paid for this?
Coach, thank you. Not a rest at the break for the defensive coordinators, trying to figure out how to stop these offenses as we get ready for the second half. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. Young hands it to Hubbard. That one never got started. Too much defensive pressure. They dropped him in the backfield. A second down throw for Young. He'll dump this down to Hubbard. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down. From the gun, it's Young. And more of the same. Another interception. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Well, Mike, this is entering the wrong kind of rarefied air. I mean, as in, it's only happened a handful of times since the turn of the millennium rare. It's an entire season's worth of picks thrown in just one game. I think at this point, you junk the playbook, you light it on fire, and we're just going to start from scratch next week.
First down throw there is incomplete.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
And a good run there. Finds the lane, gets forward. Got 8 yards and sets up a much more manageable 3rd and 2. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
Let's call it for what it is, Mike. I mean, right now, this team is winning in spite of him. Certainly not because of him. And what's really concerning is that's the most important position on the team. And if they are able to hold on and they do pull this game out, it could wind up being one of the most poor performances we've ever seen in a winning effort that I can recall in a long time. You know, more often than not in the NFL, games are won based on who wins critical downs. Well, that 4th down attempt right there was exactly that, and this defense came up huge for a big-time 4th down stop.
And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. They'll go again with Hubbard. He'll push forward for about a yard. Dre Greenlaw in on the tackle. Now a timeout for Carolina. That's going to be their 2nd. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Out of the shotgun, Young. The pressure, too much, and he goes down. The punter remains on the sideline. They're going to line up and go for it on 4th down. They'll go. Young. Quick hitting slant there.
Yeah, when you find yourself down big here in the 2nd half, you have to maximize every possession. And that's exactly what the coach tried to do, going for it on 4th down. Give yourselves a chance to cut into this big lead. But it's the defense that came through again with a huge stop. And that's going to make their chances of...
And he's in! Reese Hall. Touchdown, Denver. Here's Lutz now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Broncos will extend this 3rd quarter lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz gonna send this one away. The return starts from the 5. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. They'll run it. It's out of the gun, and it's Hubbard. A modest gain. Maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down. Here's Young. Thrown left side. The catch is made. Now inside the 25. And what an effort after the catch. He goes all the way. 74 yards. Touchdown, Carolina. So now the Panthers and Young will attempt the two-point conversion. He'll drop to throw. That is caught. And they get the two-point conversion. So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. They're going to start this drive on the ground. It's Hall. Inside the 35. And they won't catch him. He'll go all the way. 70 yards. Touchdown, Denver. Well, that's a way to start a drive. He takes it all the way to the house. I don't know what they were talking about on the last series, but they've come out on this series, Greg, with the right answer for the touchdown.
And, Mike, the reason a lot of teams start off drives with the run play is to allow themselves to operate ahead of the chains. Well, not this guy. He found the alley, he took it, and he's off to the races for 6.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos tack on one more to their lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. A run with Hubbard. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. On 2nd down, a run with Hubbard. The ball's out. The Broncos have it.
You know, it's amazing, Mike, that guys still end up fumbling the ball because I can tell you from experience, the first 15 minutes of every offensive practice is ball security circuit. And that could be a combination of multiple things. How to go to the ground without getting loose to the ball, almost like the art of falling. It could be running over bags or through bags as guys take swats at the ball trying to knock it out. There are so many ways to simulate what the game is like because at the end of the day, if you want to win in the NFL, protecting the ball is the #1 priority, and it cannot be stressed enough.
Throwing. Nix. Hit as he threw it. The pass is incomplete.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Now, a 2nd down throw for Nix. That is caught back corner of the end zone. Evan Ingram. Touchdown, Broncos. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos stretch things out even further. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. This is going to be taken in at the 3. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. They'll go play action with Young. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Young. The pressure gets there again, and again he goes down.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the third sack of the game. And this defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down. So here in the second half, it's obvious the offense finds themselves in a tough spot, trailing by this many points, but really what makes it difficult is when you have to operate, Mike, in a comeback situation where you have to air the ball out every single play. It stresses your offensive line. It stresses your quarterback. It stresses your playmakers. It is just a really difficult way to play offensive football in the NFL, and they've got to do it really for the remainder of this half.
This is caught. He's got a long way to go.
Yeah, in this game, Mike, it's just gotten away from them here in the third quarter. They're pretty much forced every possession. They're going to have to go for it and really press the issue. And I'm not even sure if that's going to be enough to get them back into this one.
On first down, here's Nix to throw. Got a man open downfield on the crossing route. And he's into the end zone yet again. Touchdown, Denver. It is his third touchdown of the game. And 18 now on the season. Lutz for the extra point. He's got it. And the Broncos add on to their already sizable lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. This one taken at the 7. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. On play action, Young. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And they're going to mark him down up past the 35.
And up until this point, we haven't seen a lot go their way, but here in the third quarter, they're starting to find some plays. They're starting to get some opportunities. Just got to ask yourself if it's too little, too late.
And he's just throwing ducks up there. Another ball intercepted. Picked off by Dre Greenlaw. The defense is having a day. They extend the lead with Greg their second pick-6 of the game.
And that's just something you don't see very often in the NFL, Mike. I mean, you might see a handful of games each year where there's one pick-6, but to get 2 pick-6s in the same game, this defense is on fire.
So, no short. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. Here comes a return from the 5. And they'll get this up past the 20, and that's where they'll set up shop. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. Now Young. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
I think all of us up here in the booth were curious, how is this quarterback going to bounce back following the pick-6? And, a lot of guys come back and they're very conservative and they just want to dink and dunk because they're scared to throw another pick. Well, we found out pretty quickly. Not this guy. He's going to continue to attack the ball downfield, and he's looking.
And more of the same. Another interception. Picked up by Sam Franklin. Nix now on 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete.
I can sit up here all day, Mike, and we can talk about the missed throw. but I think a lot of the credit has to go to the pass defense. Not only did they do a good job making it difficult for them to complete the pass, but I think they saved a touchdown along the way.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. Gets marked out of bounds, but inside the 5-yard line. Ball sitting on the 3. It is 1st down and goal. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Broncos. Make it 4 touchdowns for him on the afternoon. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos will add 1 more onto their big lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. This will be returned from the 6. Now on the return, he has lost the football. Special teams has come up with the recovery. You talk about everything going wrong. A big deficit. All you want is the ball and a chance to get back in the game. And now, Greg, they hand the ball right back to him on this kickoff fumble.
Mike, you know the saying, when it rains, it pours. And right now, it is pouring on this team. They just can't get out of their own way. They lose a fumble here on the kickoff just to make matters worse. This has just been a complete disaster all around for this unit.
They'll go play action with Nix. Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete.
Well, there's refusing to take your foot off the gas, and then there's this. I'm not even sure really how to classify it. I mean, to have this type of lead in the 4th quarter and still continue to air it out. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pay attention to this after the game coach's handshake. I think could be pretty interesting.
He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
There's a lot of ways to get the ball in the hands of your running backs, and it's not always by just handing it to them. In this case, it's a simple check down, picks up a good gain, brings up 3rd down.
Some problems communicating on 3rd down, and that's going to be a delay. So now after the penalty, a much tougher prospect to convert. It is 3rd and 9. Here's Paul from the pistol. A gain of 11, and it's 1st and goal.
Here's a case of an offense just piling on. You're really imposing your will on the defense. Everyone in the stadium knows you're going to run it. The defense knows it, you know it, and no matter what they do.
In trouble, and down he goes.
Now after taking that loss on the sack, it changes your entire approach offensively. You go from playing for 6 to now everything is just about coming away with points.
1st down was not very good. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Nix to throw. Oh, for the 5th time, he is intercepted. Picked off by Michael Jackson. Inside the 40. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Panthers. Pinheiro on for the extra point. It's up and good. The Panthers will get just a bit closer. So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. And no chance to return this one. Through the end zone for a touchback. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Nix. Taking off, carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. The Panthers have it. Well, he certainly turned that into something on the move. Downfield, looked like he was gaining yards, but then loses control, and the defense comes up with a turnover.
Early on, Mike, it looked like it was going to be a really good play by the quarterback, turning to his legs, getting some pretty good yardage with his feet, but then he failed to not only protect himself, but mostly protect the ball. Defense is able to put a hit on him, jar the ball loose, and now they'll take over after the big takeaway.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And if they want to find...
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. And a special moment as the rookie catches his first NFL touchdown.
And the more they can develop this young tight end, Mike, it just gives this quarterback additional weapons, and it's just going to make this offense even more difficult to stop.
Oh, look at this. It's a fake. This will be incomplete. Not sure what they could have seen that makes this a good call. Going for it with a fake on an extra point, and they get nothing out of it. Here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Good job in coverage. They're going to get him down short of the 20-yard line. A first down throw for Nix. He runs with it. He is dangerous when a play breaks down. A pickup of 18. Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Well, fortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up 2nd down. To throw is Nix. He'll air it out down the middle. That's caught. And they cannot contain him at all. He's into the end zone yet again. Touchdown, Denver. He is having a performance to remember. That is 5 touchdowns for him in this one game. They continue to add points. Greg, very interesting here. They are just rolling up the score even though we're in the 4th.
No doubt, Mike. I mean, this offensive play caller has no let-up. I mean, he's going to see how many points can I put on this scoreboard before that clock runs out.
So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. From the 6, here comes a return. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Young. And more of the same. Another interception. Picked off by Talanoa Hufanga.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see. Can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole.
On the give, it's Hall. Tremendous pursuit. They force him out of bounds behind the line. It'll be a loss of 3 on the play.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
On second down, it's Nix. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. 10 catches now in the game. They've gone his way early and often. That one for a first down. They'll throw. It's Nix. And more of the same. Another interception. And the Panthers are going to take possession here as they get it at their own 4.
These second-half red zone opportunities are critical, Mike. I mean, you're not going to score every single time you get down here, but it feels like at this point in the game, this might be my last chance to get this deep. You've got to make the most of those limited opportunities. At least come away with 3. You're hoping for 6, but in this case, you come away with 0.
On first down is Young. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Shotgun snap, and they'll run. Here's Hubbard. And he will get forward for about 5 yards. That sets up third down. From the gun, it's Young. That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. 6 catches for him in the ball game now, and this one's good for a first down. Out of the shotgun, Young. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Young. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. He didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up third down. Here's Young. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. Going to leave the offense out there for 4th and long. They'll go. Young. And that final throw here is intercepted. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream. A pick 6 for touchdown. So they make the decision on 4th down to try to go for it. Instead, it goes back the other way for a pick 6.
Yeah, and anytime you go for it on 4th down, you're saying, hey, we don't mind rolling the dice and taking some chances. In this case, it backfires. The defense is able to capitalize, and they take it all the way back the other way.
So this will wind up a win for the Broncos. And they were able to run up a big point total here, higher even than the 72 points put up by Washington in 1966. That was the previous record. They were able to surpass it in this one. An incredible record-setting offensive performance. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our